know, it's funny. Being in the professional wrestling business, you learn a few things. You meet a few people. For those of you out there who don't know who you're dealing with right now, especially all my friends down in the United States, allow me to introduce myself. My name is the Asset, Travis Walsh. You may not know me. You may not know what this flag is. This here is the flag of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, which is the province in Canada. The most easterly province. The youngest province. But that don't mean we ain't tough. You see, I got into the professional wrestling business when I was 16 years old. And I was diagnosed with autism when I was 20. And in that time, I made a living proving to people that I could do what they told me I couldn't do. People told me I wouldn't break in professional wrestling. And at the age of 16, now going on 25, on the age of 24, I've worked with some of the greatest professional wrestlers in the history of the business. I've worked with the Honky Tonk Man. I've worked with Tommy Dreamer. I've worked with Chris Hamrick from ECW. I've worked with Short Sleeve Samson, who you may remember, who played the Little Undertaker. And I've done it with autism. And you know what? Down in the United States, in New Jersey, CPW, Coastal Pro Wrestling, is having a special event to raise money, to raise awareness on autism. And my brother, the man known as Jail Rose, will be wrestling in that card. And what's great about Jail Rose is the man, he is the greatest athlete that I've ever seen in the United States. He is the future of professional wrestling in the United States. And he is wrestling when he teams with Ophidian against the Westville Murphys. You know, if there's one thing about Jail Rose that I admire and respect beyond any measurable doubt, is the fact that the man, he tells the truth. He tells the truth. He's not one to lie about things. He's always told me the truth. And me being not only an announcer but a future performer, and also as a future manager, I've got my eyes for talent, and I've always thought that Jail Rose was one of the greatest talents I've ever seen. When he teams with Ophidian, Westville Murphys, you're going to be in trouble. And not only that, it's going to be the strap match for the CPW Heavyweight Championship. Biggie Biggs and Johnny Calzone. 12 wrestlers are going to be surrounding the ring, and they're going to be carrying these leather straps. You see, there's a lot of symbolism in this match, especially for me. You see, these guys, they want to know what it's like to live with autism. They want to know what it's like to live with autism. Me, having Asperger's syndrome, I face a lot of things. I face a lot of things. And boys, when you wrestle this match tonight, just keep in mind, when you get thrown out that ring, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Because those 12 wrestlers surrounding the ring that's going to be carrying these straps, you're going to know what it's like to have autism. You see, that's what I respect about those two. They're willing to put everything on the line to make sure that they know what it's like to live with autism. And it's not for a paycheck. It's not for a strap of gold around the waist. It's just to simply raise money for the cause. Jail Rose is part of that cause. He's had my back since day one, and I have his back, even though he's down in the United States and I'm in this beautiful province. So boys, you want to know what it's like to live with autism? I'll tell you. Just picture the straps. Just picture these straps as what it's like to live every day I wake morning. Just imagine getting thrown at that ring, and the guy that doesn't like you, well, he's got the tools in his hand to show you what it's like. Every whip, every slap, every smack, it represents what it's like to live with autism. And that's why I respect you guys, because you're willing to go through it. You're willing to go through what it's like. Not being able to get a decent job. Not being able to go out and be accepted in a crowd. Not going out to be accepted in society. Governments not helping you. You're going to know what it's like. So CPW, the asset, Travis Walsh. I'm watching this and I'm giving out my love and my support to CPW. And I want to thank you to the CPW management for giving me the opportunity to make this promo to show the world that you might know somebody with autism. Under the umbrella, under the cause, you're fighting for that cause. You see, boys, when you wake up in the morning and you take a look at those bumps, those bruises, those cuts, those scrapes, those leather strap whips, I want you to realize something. When you look in that mirror, it doesn't matter who has that belt, it doesn't matter who has that title. I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to look at every bruise, every scrape, every cut, every scrape, and realize that that is your payoff. That is your ultimate payoff. The reason why that's your ultimate payoff is because this is for that person, this is for that kid, this is for that girl, this is for that person who was never given a chance. You helped them give a chance. It's all about fighting for something bigger than yourself. It's all about fighting for something other than a strap of gold. It's fighting for something other than a big payday. It's for a cause. CPW, I want you to realize that even in Newfoundland, the asset watches. And I realize, Jail Rose, you got my support. CPW, you have my support. And whoever wins that strap match, you have my support. And even who loses, you have my support. Because to realize that you are fighting for something bigger than yourself. You're fighting for the cause of autism. It doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter who loses. Because you're all going to feel what it's like to have autism. This arm, I want you to take a look. This arm was broken because of bullying at the age of 7 years old. And I became part of professional wrestling. The dream I've had since I was a little kid. Why? Because nobody gave me a chance, and I took that chance. I grabbed it by the throat, and I ripped it out, and I held it in my hand as my trophy, knowing that I did something that people told me I would never do. So, tonight, New Jersey, CPW, I'll be watching. I'll be listening. And boys, never fear the strap, because this is going to be your ultimate reward. I'm Travis Walsh, and that's the way it is.